As we come towards the end of Chapter 4, Fortnite's storyline is about to get crazy, and it's all thanks to a time machine that's now on the island. It's been brought here by none other than Kato Thorne, who's been traveling back in time and collecting some of Fortnite's most iconic moments and bringing them to the island. We've already seen his collection of mythic weapons, which will continue to grow as the season progresses, but he's even got items like Midas's hand, Oro's crown, and even more secret mythic items that we'll be discussing in this video, but not only linked to the past of Fortnite, but also the future as well. Kato should not be underestimated, and with his time-traveling abilities, he poses a huge threat to the Fortnite island. Like every evil person that has ever come to the island, his main goal is to get hold of the 0 point. We know just how bad it can be if the 0 point gets in the wrong hands, and as he's working on his mission to try and get hold of it, he's brought even more items to the island that should not go overlooked. One of them sitting in his vault near Midas's hand is an ancient relic whose codename in-game is actually called Looper Calendar, an item that is super old and backdates potentially even before Chapter 1 of Fortnite and contains symbols that line up with the 7 who have been a critical part of the early development of the Fortnite story, and in the center lies a crown. This item is clearly super important if it's to be placed in the vault next to literally Midas's gold hand, and if Kato is trying to mess with the looping of the Fortnite island and hunt down the 0 point, he's definitely up to something bad. When Kato travels through time, the sun needs to be blocked out as we work towards an eclipse at the end of last season that allowed Kato to travel to the island, as Kato is secretly a vampire and vampires cannot come out in the sunlight. So with the sun blocked, it allowed him to come out and travel, and we were actually warned of Kato coming to the island at the end of last season with a telescope that was being built to look up in the sky and let us know that an eclipse was happening. Fun fact, in Creaky Compound you can actually find garlic, letting us know that a vampire was coming to the island. But despite the warnings, we couldn't stop Kato coming to the island, and he's here right now. But why does he want the 0 point? The answer is simple. With the power of the 0 point and the power of the time machine, you'll no longer be limited to going back in time just within the world of Fortnite. The 0 point will give him access to unlimited realities for him to jump around in time and take whatever he wants. But the 0 point isn't exactly in a good state. Ever since the Paradigm performed Zero Fusion at the beginning of Chapter 4 to create the island that we're currently on, the 0 point has been within a petrified state and has been hiding under the island ever since. For the first few seasons of Chapter 4, we never actually saw the 0 point, although we had an idea of where it was hiding, and with the collapsing of the island and the revealing of the jungle biome, we actually could see the 0 point for the very first time. However, this time it's covered in moss, it looks to be in a rock-like form, and the 0 point is still hiding, still in that petrified state, and it appears as if most people on the island don't actually know it's there. Although there's no visual effect around the 0 point, you can still hear it if you get close enough. And although nothing may be happening right now, something will be coming, as leakers have found in-game code including zero lava added earlier in Chapter 4, which ties in with a very early Chapter 4 theory. We're actually going to get a huge volcanic lava event within Fortnite. We have had no live events so far in Chapter 4, but as we always get leading from one chapter to the next, we are due a huge live event, with Kato Thorne trying to steal the 0 point to be able to travel through any realities and steal whatever he wants. And with the codename Zero Lava, we can suspect that a big lava event will be a part of the chapter finale. And let's not forget all of the lava hints that were actually hidden within Chapter 4 Season 3's Battle Pass, potentially giving us a very early look and letting us know as to what's really coming to finish off this chapter. One big hint that also shouldn't be overlooked from previous Battle Pass skins is from the Ancestral Era set. If you guys remember, Era actually had multiple 0 point elements within her skin and cosmetic design, and was also based around time. The combination of her 0 point aesthetics and the time theming was basically hinting at the fact that Kato was coming for the 0 point to travel backwards in time. But Kato isn't the only person on the island that we need to be keeping an eye on, as let's not forget about Dr. Sloan, who we believed had turned her back on the Imagined Order and was now a good person, but that is not the case, and in fact, she looks to be going as far as trying to bring the Imagined Order back. But how is she going to do this? Well, it turns out that in the previous Fortnite season, Dr. Sloan knew that the eclipse would bring Kato to the island. This is exactly what she wanted, and she'd been leaving tape messages explaining a secret mission that she wanted to complete on the island, and those tape messages were left for some very specific people. And those people were introduced this season. It is Nolan Chance and his crew of heist agents that are now within the latest Fortnite Battle Pass, and she actually wants them to steal a very specific item from Kato. When talking to the Nolan Chance NPC, he'll actually say, a mutual friend told me that you'd be perfect for a heisted gig. You know Sloan, right? Our target is Kato Thorne, and he is major security. Turrets, cameras, guards, a lot of guards. So many guards. He's definitely guarding something important down there. So Nolan Chance and his crew are teaming up with Sloan to take something from Kato. But the crazy thing is, Nolan doesn't even know what they're going after. But Dr. Sloan does. Completing more quests will unlock new dialogue from Nolan, where he'll say, there's something in Kato's deepest, best protected vault that Sloan wants. Now, Kato's best protected vault actually lies within Eclipsed Estate. Inside this vault is actually a second vault and another door that leads into it. However, this door is currently fully locked. You cannot break it in any way in-game right now. But thanks to some replay magic, we can go through the door and see what will eventually lie behind it. It leads to another set of stairs going even deeper into a secondary vault, where currently it's just an empty map. However, if we continue searching in replay mode around the area where the second vault will eventually be added into the game in a future update, we can actually spot some electric sparks. And if we go to the trailer, we can see that the time machine has the exact same sparks coming off of it when being used. That's right, Kato's most important item, the time machine, is exactly what Sloan wants to take, with her assumed plan being to take it, go back in time to a point in the Fortnite island where the Imagined Order still had control, and Dr. Sloan can bring the Imagined Order back to power. But whilst Dr. Sloan is trying to take this time machine, Kato will continue to use it himself, and the places that he's going back to will blow your mind and could bring back some incredible weapons into the world of Fortnite. For those of you that remember the introduction of the Infinity Blade back in Chapter 1, you'll know how controversial it was, causing havoc in competitive Fortnite and just generally being one of the most OP weapons ever added into the game. It was actually vaulted shortly after being added. It was just too powerful. But the crazy thing is, the vaulting of this weapon and Kato Thorne's time machine are actually linked. Now, the Infinity Blade may not be on the island currently, but if we go ahead and take a look at Nolan Chance's Battle Pass loading screen, in the background, we can actually see the Infinity Blade within the vault. This means that Kato Thorne, at some point in this season, will probably go back to Chapter 1, take the most powerful mythic that arguably has ever existed in Fortnite, the Infinity Blade, cause it to be vaulted back in time, and then bring it into the future where we can actually use it. That means his deep vault that contains the time machine could also contain the Infinity Blade mythic, and any other part of any Fortnite history could have its mythic taken and brought back to the current time, meaning Kato will continue to bring incredible mythics to the game throughout this season, while Sloan will try and take it for herself and bring back the Imagined Order. However, there's one big missing link here, and that's the fact that the time machine currently can't be accessed. As we know, going through the door in replay mode just leads us to an empty room, which means we need the time machine to be added. And this season will contain a huge update, Fortnitemares, an event we all look forward to every year. And this year, we're set to see the Eclipse fully take shape, turning Kato Thorne into his alternate being, which is actually a vampire. Kato Thorne's vampire version will become a new boss on the Fortnite island. He'll actually have his own unique mythic ability or weapon that will drop upon elimination. At the moment, our best bets as to what this is could potentially be a mythic version of the Kinetic Blade, which we can see him using on his back bling in this season's trailer. And a location of this vampire boss will also definitely line up with the addition of the second vault added into Eclipsed Estate, which will contain the time machine, potentially even the Infinity Blade as well, adding so many important characters and so many important parts of the story to the island. I've casually mentioned the fact that we're coming towards the end of a chapter here. We are now getting yearly chapters with 4 seasons per chapter, which means whatever happens in this season is coming toward an end. It's looking like the end of chapter event will contain a combination of Kato trying to get control of the 0 point, the island seeing some sort of huge lava event, and potentially all of us being saved by the fact that actually Sloan uses a time machine to go back to a previous point in Fortnite's history. It could be chapter 3, 2, 1, or even before then. And it's safe to say that this end of chapter will be crazy. And talking of old seasons, do you think old Battle Pass skins should return? Check out this video and let me know your thoughts. Thank you as always for everyone using code ALIA when picking up anything in the item shop. It's the best way to support me if you enjoy my videos, and I'll see you over here in another video.